Hello my picky pals, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, today we're going to be creating a really cute little isometric spring graphic, I guess. I don't really know. I mean, it has bunny, but it's not Easter, it's more spring. And I just kind of have been doing a lot of spring stuff lately, and I can't get enough of it, so I want to do some more. And this one is just something different. We haven't done isometric on my channel before. I've drawn isometric before, but never on my channel. So I thought, why not do it today? I decided on a little bunny watering her garden, and although I could have drawn probably a lot more, it kind of got to the point where I was like, okay, I gotta stop, because if I don't stop, then I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So it's not 100% finished, and I would like to give it another go, but for now, this is what it is. And I actually really like it. I think it turned out really cute. I got a lot of details in there. The only thing I don't really care for is the one bush in the back. With it being behind the birdhouse, I found it just feels kind of flat, and I wasn't able to shade that properly. So it is what it is. I also added some kind of texture, and it kind of went everywhere, which I didn't really mind too much, but I do notice that up close, so that bothers me a little bit. But I am creating it in Procreate. So in order to do that yourself, you can set up a drawing guide for the isometric grid. And to do that, you're just going to click on your little wrench there, and then you're going to choose the canvas option. You're going to click on drawing guide, then edit drawing guide, and choose isometric. Now my grid size is 260 pixels. I wanted it a little bit bigger because I just find that can be a little bit easier sometimes, especially when I'm not doing something super duper teeny tiny detailed. So that's what I did, and then you just kind of follow along. I mean, I didn't show the sketching because really, if I had, it would have taken me so long to do this. As it was, I had over almost 3 hours, I think, of footage to edit and take care of. So there was a lot, and I didn't want to go too far. But, you know, maybe if this is something that you'd be interested in, we could always do something like this. Maybe even as a live stream, or as a couple live streams, because it does take quite a bit of work. Perhaps that's something that we could do for one of those. And if that's something that you'd be interested in, let me know below. I'd be happy to do that if it's something that people are interested in. But yeah, as it is, I mean, this whole thing took me about 5.5 hours, and I didn't really finish it. But it kind of got to the point where I was like, if I don't do it now and I don't get it out there, then we won't have a video, so I need to get it done. And yeah, so I really like the little fence posts. I love the idea of the little bunny. I like the idea of, like, whether you're a bunny or bear, like little creatures having, like, creating different pieces of furniture and things like that with their, like, little design, and I don't know. I just like it. I think it's cute. So yeah. Yeah, I had no idea what to draw for this video, and I just wasn't really done with the bunnies in the spring, and I'm still not. I kind of am really enjoying it, and I just thought, what's something that we haven't done? And I was like, well, what about isometric? I love doing isometric, and I love getting, like, super packed detail in there, so it was kind of hard for me to stop. Like I said, I will do more. I think I'll finish it, or I'll maybe add to it, because even as it was, there were so many little things that I thought could be added. Like, I did want the bush to be a little bit better, doing, like, little flowers just here and there, doing even just, like, sprigs of grass around the fence posts. Like, there's so many different things, but I thought I left it at a fairly okay spot. I really just kind of had to call it where it was. But I do love these kind of isometric style designs. I've done these a few times, and I just always really enjoy them. So yeah, if it's something that you'd like me to continue or do, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm using the same things as usual. I'm using the 6B pencil and the, what's that pen called? The Studio pen, I think, in inking. And then I also just used the Signet, I think, or the Curawong. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. When I used some just for some texture there. But I really like the bunny. I think I might have to revisit that bunny. I think she's really cute. And now you can actually see I'm doing the flower bed. So I tried to do a lot of detail without actually doing a lot of detail. So later on when I am coloring it, you'll actually see that I color all the green the same color, and then I'm building up using multiply on different layers and different colors of greens, but they still kind of work together, if that makes sense. So for the flower beds and things like that, I thought it'd be really cute to put them on this like blanket of green and then put little leaves throughout and things like that. So it looks like a lot of detail, but it really isn't, and that's kind of, I think that's the key. Like as much as like something like this has a lot of detail, it's also kind of, fun to put it in, but not really be all that detailed. I would say the biggest problem I have with isometric is the layering. So I always do the ground first and then the fencing or whatever I have around. Sometimes it's walls, things like that. And then I kind of build forward. So the bunny, I think, was the last thing I actually sketched. And as I'm doing it, I always delete the things that are behind other things, or else I just, it kind of overwhelms my senses, really. But I never completely erase. I always just do a light erase so that I can, if I want to or if need to, I can go back to it. Another thing I like to do is, even though I have like 3 different kinds of flowers here, I have them all in a little flower pot or a little flower wooden whatever, what have you, raised flower bed, I guess. So it's kind of similar, but it's not the exact same. But I'm able, when I did the sketching, I was able to use that flower box and just kind of copy, paste, copy, paste. Same with the fence. So things like that really help me to create it a little bit quicker and kind of get that detail in without having to do a lot of the work. I really liked, though, the little, like, having the little tulips and the little puffball blue ones. I don't know what you would call those. I think they're just flowers I make up. And like the little daisies in the front. I thought it was cute to have the different ones, and then have her have like a rose bush that she's really, really excited for and really, proud of, and have like the little roses in her hair. Maybe that's more of a spring flower or a summer flower, I don't know, but I thought it was cute. The other thing I'm also thinking is I didn't add any birds. She has a birdhouse, but no birds. That's okay though. They are maybe just out trying to find some spring something for their little chickadee babies or something. I don't know. I just really wanted to put a birdhouse in there, so I did. And that's that. I did have some fun when I went back and I colored the shingles. I just kind of, I don't know what I did. A lot of times you'll see like texture and stuff there. So I'll put it there when I'm doing the sketch and I won't fill it in, because I know that, yes, I want to do this kind of texture on the roof, but I don't want to spend, a whole bunch of time filling in all this different texture and things like that, when in reality I'm just going to be going over it anyway, and it's not something that is so detailed I would need to do a whole sketch for. So you'll see that a lot. And actually the like grass that's kind of hanging over, I only did a couple sketch marks of that, and my intention was to do it all the way around, but I just kind of liked the way it looked with just having like one here, one there kind of a thing. But I thought, I'll see where it goes. And then it looked good, so I left it the way it was. And yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I thought even the little bush was cute, and the little bunny with their little watering can I think is adorable. I don't know how I managed that face. I think it looked really cute, and I think it turned out adorable. I really like that one. What else did we do in here? There's a lot. Like, I tried to fit a lot in. I kind of wanted to put a bench in front of the tree, but then the bunny kind of took up most of that room anyway, so I didn't think it made any sense to then add something in just so that it's sat behind her, if that makes sense. I wouldn't have minded doing some kind of maybe pathway or something as well, but with the fencing, I thought just some kind of stones would be cute. And that's pretty much, my mindset on this one. I think it just turned out so cute. I love that bunny so much. I think it's so cute. And I love the idea of her coming out and watering her little garden. I kind of wish I put some clothes on her, but that's okay. She's fine naked. Everybody's fine with that, right? I hope so. But yeah, so the only thing that I found with this was you do want to make sure that you put a lot of texture in, because you don't want to have a ton of different colors, especially in something like this where it's green. You don't want, as much as you don't want it all to be the same green, you also don't want a bunch of different greens kind of clashing and fighting against each other, which is why I actually did the way I did it. I just did a new layer and I did multiply, and then I used the same greens to kind of go on top, and then it still has that same base color of green, which works out really well. So, that's kind of some ways to deal with it, but there's so much detail that you don't want to over flood with like different colors as well. I find it's just, I don't know, it just looks nicer to me if it's a little bit more of a limited palette. I also would have really liked to try doing this one lineless. I'm not gonna lie, I really thought it could be cute, but I don't know that I'm the artist that can do that. I do love drawing in the lineless style, but I find that I don't know, I'm hit and miss. And here, so when I'm doing the flood fill of colors, what I did was I set my line art to reference, and then you can just kind of flood fill in. The only thing I don't like about this is if you click on the outline, then your whole outline is then that color, and it just looks horrible. And then you essentially have to redo it. So you have to be really careful about where you're like dropping color. So I don't use it a lot, to be honest. It's not something that I use a lot of, but I've had a comment where, it'd be faster if you did it this way. Sometimes, yeah, I think it is, but at the same time, I find if I have to be super careful about where I'm putting it, and then have to, like, if I don't pay attention and I miss it, and then it covers all of the, like, oh, then it just looks horrible, then I have to redo it. So then I'm like, is it saving me any time? I don't know. But it is one way to do it. And in this case, my art has a much more solid line. So it kind of works in that scenario. I do kind of wish that I'd used monoline instead and just had one same, the same width of line throughout the whole thing. I think that might have made it look a little bit more of what I was going for, I guess. I don't know, maybe not. But yeah. Oh, I wanted to let you guys know as well. And I made a note in our little community tab as well. I have like opened up my old Facebook group again. So if it's, honestly, it was something I didn't even realize I had. I completely forgot about it. But if that's something that you'd like to do, if you want to kind of hang out with me and do some like art together and some little challenges and prompts, things like that. I also have some tutorials. I'll just kind of, it's just lots of whatever I feel like, but also just, doing some art together. If that's something you guys would be interested in, please do head on over to my Facebook group. I'll make sure to put a link in the description as well. And there's one in the community tab as well. So if I forget, it is there, and I'd love to have you. I've been updating my coffee membership this month with lots of cool new tutorials. So they're all written. There's no video. I don't know. I'm contemplating doing maybe a video for my coffee membership once a month. It just kind of depends on whether or not I have the time. As you can tell, I don't right now because I am currently finishing this up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know when that'll happen, but that is kind of my hope. I think it would be a lot of fun. And yeah, so if you're, looking to get some tutorials straight from me, you can also message me privately on Coffee as well. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out, all that good stuff there. That's available to you. And I also, what else is new? Oh, I did a whole website redo. I'm still kind of in the process of doing it, but if you go to my website, you will see that it is quite different, and I like it. It's a lot of work. I'm still working on it, but so far I do really like it. I think it's turning out really, really nice and dynamic, and that's kind of what I wanted, so that's what I'm doing. Other than that, I don't know that I have anything else. I do go on Monday to the doctor, so I go to actually London, Ontario, so that will hopefully be good. I'm not going for my heart, I'm going for my back because I have had a back problem for 2 years now, and this doctor will be the next one that I see, and he's going to be the one that decides whether or not I need surgery on my back. So at this point, I don't really care what gets done as long as something gets done. I've pretty much been living on painkillers. For a lot of painkillers for the last 2 years, and I'd really love to not be on them and to be able to go back to doing some of the things that I really like doing. And it's hard to do that when you have a bad back. So look after your back. It's really important. But I do that on Monday, which will be nice. I just kind of hope that he'll have some kind of answers, even if it's not the ones I'm looking for. Other than that, as far as the heart issue, I still have gotten nothing. It's been 2 weeks now and still no results. I'm hoping that's good news. I don't know. The way I kind of am thinking, like, if the tech saw something, then they would have the doctor look at it. Maybe they didn't see anything. I don't know. Maybe it just takes that long. I don't know. I used to get echoes done all the time when I was a kid, and I remember having them done in the morning, and my doctor would have them by the afternoon. Of course, that was like a different circumstance. That was when I had cancer, and I would see my oncologist once a year, and it was all done in the same hospital. But I don't know. It just seems like they could have had it quite a bit quicker, but maybe they can't. I don't know. But still nothing, no news on that one. So I'm going with the whole, no news is good news. And yeah, hoping for the best there. Here you can see this is where I'm doing like all of my different greens. So it's really just a different green on the next layer. It's still the same green on the base layer, and then I'm using multiply, so it still kind of pulls in the same green color, which I like. And then Yeah, it still gives like some kind of change. I really wish that I could have done more. I think actually that I probably would have made the main grass darker and then the rest lighter, and then keep the tree. I like the tree that color, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I redo it. Sometimes it's kind of like, you know what? The art is what the art is, and you need to let it be. So sometimes it's hard for me to learn that. But it's also hard for me to color on a video because I can't see the screen as well as I could if I was just drawing and at max bright, you know? So I don't know. I don't know. Here I am adding the like little leaves and stuff inside just to give it, even like the little dots and stuff, just to give it a little bit more texture so that it's not just this like big bland green thing, you know what I mean? But it's, I mean, it's almost done at this point. I can't even remember what needs to be done still. But I do a lot of work on the grass, and then that's pretty much the rest of it. So there's not much left now. I hope if you've stuck with me this whole time, let me know. Have you ever done isometric drawing before? I used to do a lot with my pixels for a long time actually. I did a lot of isometric. I really liked it, especially with like isometric pixels and things like that. But I haven't really done a lot of it just digitally, and I really miss it. I actually really like doing it. It's a lot of fun, and it makes your brain think differently, if that makes any sense. It's just like you have to think about how you're looking at it and how things are laid out, and I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it definitely makes you like have to think about what you're doing. You can't just draw randomly. You have to really kind of focus on the way things are. And I love the idea of like doing shading that's very blocked and simple, but it just kind of looks really cool. And oh, here's where I'm doing the shingles. Wow, I used to be a carpenter and I didn't even remember the name. The shingles of the birdhouse, and I changed it up because I'm like, no, how do I do this? And I think it turned out really cute. I like the idea of doing like one, coloring one just to have a different kind of texture there as well. And I just think this turned out really, really cool. I really like the birdhouse. And I like the little like uh, curve to the roof as well. I think that's really neat. And yeah, then we're doing the other side. So you can see I did a lot of like layering of the colors. So these are all actually the same color. I just have done it on a different multiply layer. So it shows a few kind of different variations even though it's all the same color, which I thought was really cool too. So that's one thing actually. The pole for the green, I believe the greenhouse, the birdhouse. I just realized that I colored it as if it was a square, which is fine, but I didn't think of it. I kind of wanted it to be round. So, see what I mean about having to have that like extra little thought bubble there every time you're doing something? Yeah, I definitely didn't get the memo there. But yeah, we're pretty much just dealing with grass at this point. There's so much of it, and there's so much just green in general, which, I mean, when you're doing a garden, obviously there's going to be a lot of green. So it's one of those things where you have to really pay attention to where you're putting the greens and how you're changing them up. That way you don't end up with like one big, just massive green. So that's kind of the main reason why I would like to go back and kind of finish things up. And now just on the outer edge, I'm just putting in the highlight, which is another thing that I really just love about isometric. It's just the the highlighting and the shadows are just so simple. It's really cool, and I really like these little fence posts. I think I missed one, but that's okay. Yeah, that one right there. I can see where I missed it now. You gotta love it. But there we go. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do let me know in the comment section below. We can always do more isometric graphics and isometric, you know, what have yous. I really enjoy them, and I don't, you know, they don't just have to be an isometric room. We can do all kinds of stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know how much longer there is here. I hope you guys are having a great weekend and have had a good week. I'm doing pretty good, I think. I did okay. I'm having an okay week. I had to work today, but other than that, it wasn't too bad. We have to work like one Saturday, kind of every few months, every other month. That may be changing now that we have less staff, but it is what it is. It does make it a little bit harder to get some things done, but that's okay. And there we go. I think that's so cool. Signing it away because I liked it. Have a great day, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and if you did, be sure to like and subscribe. Have a great one. Bye.